Hey guys, this is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and I was not planning on making a video today. I was going to clean my craft room or my studio, and I got a little bit of cleaning done, but when I say a little bit, the emphasis is on the word little. I'm going to go little. Because then I came across, while I was cleaning, I don't even know why. Oh, because I was moving the spinny tool from Michael's that these were in, was pushing it back, and I noticed these. I thought, oh, I forgot I had these. They're index cards. These ones are 4x6. These ones, I believe, were 3x5. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I don't even remember why I had them. I've had them for years. They've kind of curled up a little bit. But I thought, oh, I can use those in some junk journals, because I was watching some junk journaling videos today. Some with Edith with Scrapbooking with Me, and then some with Natasha from Treasure Books. And I just love what they do. So anyway, between watching those while I was cleaning, I decided I would try and print some of these off. So my thought is, I'm going to print on the back side because it's plain and it doesn't have the lines on it. And I'm going to, I could do it, well, I'd still do it on the back. I envisioned initially making like tags out of these to go in junk journals, but honestly they're perfect shape for just making postcards with them. So, well, postcard size. So they look like postcards, but then you can write on the back. So I went ahead and printed some out. So if you've watched me, I have lots of digital images. And I love the tea dyed or coffee dyed papers, and I love blues. So I thought, well, I'm going to just print them all out. I only had about 30 of them, of the 4x6s. I've got a lot more of the 3x5s, but I'm not sure my printer will let me go that size, so we'll have to double check that. So anyway, I printed my first one, and I didn't make it go all the way to the edge because it's not photo paper, and my printer actually recommends that I only do that with photo paper. But those are all just recommendations. They don't actually expect us to take that seriously, I hope. So I will just trim this one off, but the rest of them I just went ahead and printed all the way out to the edge. So I did 5 of this one because I just feel like it's just a very generic coffee stain or tea stain paper. And then I imagined that I would take some of my other papers. Let me find some here. Like this one I did in one of my classes with Ruth, who is with Artful Stamping with Ruth. She is amazing if you're a stamper. I actually don't stamp a lot because I'm not very good at it. But anyway, I thought I would cut a piece off and add it to the back, and then you could still journal on this. This is pale enough in color that you could even use pencil on it if you wanted to, although I don't know too many people who journal in pencil. But then again, I don't think I know too many people who journal, period. So that was my thought, was I would just take some of my prettier papers and put them on the back side. Now let me put that one back where I got it. So I printed out, some of the nice tea-stained ones, and then I went looking through my digital images, of which I have thousands, and I'm not exaggerating. I literally have tens of thousands. I've gathered them from all kinds of places, from various subscriptions and purchases from Etsy and whatever. Currently, I get most of mine through Creative Fabrica, which they have more than you could ever possibly need. They even have junk journal kits. Yeah, it's all there. Just for $4 a month. I don't know what it is to buy these things if you don't have a subscription, but the subscription is $4 a month, $3.99. So I highly recommend it. I can put a link below. It is an affiliate link. I don't make much off of it, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, but I just wanted to be clear about that. So anyway, I started printing some of these off. Just some of my mini backgrounds, and I have a few more here, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, I'm doing blues because I love the blues. It was my first favorite color as a child, and I'm back to being in love with blues, as you could maybe tell. Anyway, so I've got tons and tons of these things. So I'm going to flip over to my photo editing software, and I'm going to print a few of these out. And I'm going to show you how it works in my software. Now, I will tell you yours will be different because nobody uses the software that I use. Or when I say nobody, I mean maybe 1 in 1,000 or 10,000 people. It's not popular, it never was, but it's what I learned to use. And even though it's still for sale, it's not really supported anymore. I don't recommend it. If you're going to buy something that's more commonplace, even though it might cost you a little bit more. So the name of my software is Photo Impact Pro. And I'll try and insert a picture of it here. And it's made by ULeader, it was. But again, it's not supported anymore. So let's just go back into my laptop screen. So here's some I still need to print, which is most of these actually. So what I did was I started with my size of my index card, which was 4x6. So I created a 4x6 workspace or image or whatever they call it. They call it a new image. So I created a 4x6 and then I imported my image into that. We're going to cancel that. So here's the next one I need to print. So the way I like to do it is I go open up the file menu, and then I like to do the preview, because I do have to tell it for every single window that I need to change it to borderless printing, and then I need to change it to plain paper. And when I say OK, and I say OK, and then voila, it fills in the whole page. So I'm going to go ahead and print that one, and hopefully it works. I am getting low on at least one of my toners, so it may or may not, but we'll see. So then I can go ahead and close that one. So I'm going to click on the next one that I want to print. And this is like on a linen texture or a canvas texture, and I just think it's so pretty. Now some of these, I don't know if I did it with this one, but some of these I actually changed the transparency because they were so dark. I knew you wouldn't really be able to write on them unless you were using a white pen, a white gel pen, which most people don't have. Unless they do a lot of journaling, then they might, or a lot of like drawing. Otherwise, you probably aren't going to have one. So I go into properties, and yeah, so this one, I changed my transparency to 25. If I change it back to 0, you see how much brighter that is? And it gets really dark down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go back up to 25. You could go all the way up. That's 95 or 92. That leaves you almost nothing to see. That's almost like a gray blue at 60. But I think I had it on 25, and that's where I'm going to go back to, or somewhere in that area. Alright, so I'm just going to, or you know what, I could just cancel and then it'll put it right back where it was. Okay, so to print this one, we're going to open up our file menu again. And I like, again, preview. It's a new window, so I have to go in and do this every time. Now, if I had been smart, I would have done this differently, and I'll tell you how in a minute. So change it to borderless printing, change it to plain paper, say OK, and then OK, and then we go ahead and print. And then I can close this, and then I can go on to the next one. So when I say if I had been smart about it, I either would have moved all of these once I got them sized correctly. These were all, I believe, 12 by 12 images, and I've just resized them down to the 4 by 6. So there's been a little distorting here and there, but nothing so significant that it was even visible, really. Yeah, even the flowers on one of the previous ones look fine. So if I had just opened them all and resized them all in one window, say this front window right here, then I wouldn't have to keep resetting that borderless print. But because I didn't do it that way, I have to keep resetting that. So if you're into printing digital images and you know you're going to be printing like you've just come across a, let's go back to my work service. You've just come across a stack of index cards, whether it was, you know, in a kitchen drawer or in your craft space, or maybe at a secondhand store. These are very handy. They're like I said, they'll make great tags. They're a little thin, so what I'll do is I'll back them with something, and they even make great postcards. I could decorate that side if I wanted to. or I could just do what I planned on doing, which is decorating this side. Let me go to the printer real quick, and let's just grab those two that just printed out. All right, that's the first one. It's kind of washed out in camera. It's a little bit more vivid and a little bit darker in person, but that's pretty. And then this one I really like. I love the different shades of blue in that, the kind of watercolor background look. I think that's really nice. So what I was saying, actually I should just go ahead and do one, shouldn't I? Was you can print on the line side, and then when they take it out of their tuck spot or pocket or whatever, if it's a journaling card, then their lines are already on there. So let's go ahead and do one like that. Okay, so this is the next one to print. So again, I'm going to go into my file menu, and I want to preview it so that I can change those settings. And we're going to select borderless print, plain paper, and say OK. When we say OK over here, you'll see that white border just disappears. Voila. So now we can say print. And this time I'm printing it on the side with the actual lines already printed on it. So give that a second to finish printing. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And so I don't lose my place, I'll go to the next one. Oh, that one's really pretty too. So this is how this is what I ended up doing today. I was supposed to be cleaning my craft room, but since I set my own rules, I guess I can break them. All right, so this is the one where we printed on the side that already had the pre-printed lines. And while it is a little bit darker in person than it's showing up in the camera, it's still plenty light enough that would be perfect for a journal card. And then we just decorate the back. This one, the 3x5, didn't print so well. Yeah, so I don't know how I'll use these, but I will use them. You know what I could do? Brilliant idea, George. I want to make... I've been meaning to do this for over a year. I started it and then didn't finish it. I want to make a sample book of all of my dies, just to make them easier to find, I think. And this would be perfect for the smaller ones. Now, it won't work for the bigger ones, but it will work for the small ones to make my samples. So, although I didn't really want to use white because the pages are white, but I'm going to find a way to make that work. Maybe I'll try and coffee stain these. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I won't use them for printing because, as you can see, I mean, it does work, but because I have to tell it 3.5 inches instead of 4, even though my paper guides kind of center my paper, it's still kind of messed up. Didn't mess up the edge. It printed all the way to this edge. You know what? Let me look. Let me see here. I can't tell really. Oh, well, you know why these aren't even 3 inches? They're 2 3/4. Well, no, they're 3. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, ideally, I probably won't put these through the printer. I'll keep thinking about that. But these, I will finish printing these out. And I'll probably do a few more in some of my other kind of coffee tea stained backgrounds, or some more like this that have the images on them. Let's see. But I think these will make really nice journaling cards, because by the time you add a backing sheet to them, they're going to be nice and sturdy. So anyway, this was my quick little project for the day that I've just rambled on and on and on about. But I just wanted to show you how I did those. So again, my photo editing software is not, I don't recommend it. I am used to it. I use it a lot. It's because I've been using it for 20 years or something. I don't even know anymore. I'm familiar with it. And I just am at a stage in my life where I don't want to relearn something else like that. So I continue to use it. It has its hiccups. It has its issues. I know how to work around them, and I know what I need to do to avoid them. I don't always do it, but I know what I need to do. So it works for me, but I wouldn't recommend you use it. I only showed you because whatever software you're using will be very similar, and your printer will have its own software with it probably, so you can kind of, you'll have to play with that and figure that out. But yeah, when you're cleaning and you come across these really useful items, don't throw them away and don't hang on to them for another 20 years. Figure out a way to use them. That's what I'm doing. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. But thanks for joining me on my not so quick video. And until next time, this is Georgiana signing off, and I hope you have a happy, crafty day.